Here we have the Supreme Afro Skater tee. This tee is probably the rarest on the list, as there is literally only one picture of one online.
Before James Jebbia created Supreme and amassed a net worth of at least $40 million, as the brand would go on to become one of the hottest clothing tickets in the world. Before major influencers would be spotted rocking the brand, including Travis Scott, Justin Bieber, Odell Beckham Jr., Tyler the Creator, DJ Khaled's baby, Zepeto, and Zepedo's hot girlfriend.
All my friends are dead, push me to the edge. All my friends are dead, push me to the edge.
Before Supreme would collaborate with brands like Nike, Clarks, North Face, Timberland, and Louis Vuitton, and their LV pop-up shop would be flooded by fashionistas in major cities across the world.
But you were gonna be legendary, moving the product, legendary, dying with honor, legendary, girls with a honor, legendary.
Before Supreme's popularity and limited supply helped to create an underground economy in which people would buy up the brand's merch and resell it online for huge profits.
I don't like it very much simply because we try our best to make our clothing affordable for young people, he explains. After all, Supreme is a skate brand, and when I do see our things on eBay, the prices are normally at least double what they should be.
Supreme was created by James Jebbia. While he's known today as a relatively reclusive figure in the fashion world, while he was growing up in the UK, he actually worked as a child actor. He went on to develop his knowledge of retail, working for brands like Parachute and Stussy, and spent about $12,000 to create the first Supreme store in downtown Manhattan. Since then, the brand's emerged as one of the hottest in the world, but according to James, we're not trying to please the masses, we just want to grow at a reasonable pace. Supreme hasn't changed for 20 years, and that feels very simple to me. What's going on, guys? My name is Michael McCrudden, documenting the rise of Supreme prior to fame, here for you on Before They're Famous. Now, I've talked about other companies in the past, like Uber, Musical.ly, and Tidal, but you guys have been requesting this one like crazy. Because the brand, it's just so hot right now.
So hot right now.
As always, guys, this show relies on your requests to let us know who we document next, so feel free to hit us in the comments down below. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram. And Supreme, if you're watching this, how about hooking me up with some gear? Supreme launched its first store on Lafayette Street in Manhattan, New York in April of 1994, making it either an Aries or a Taurus. But I'm gonna go with Aries because they're the best in the sack. The brand catered to youth culture, particularly skateboarding and hip-hop subculture, and was created by James Jebbia. Although born in the United States, James is a UK citizen who lived in England from infancy until he was 19 years old. Growing up in the UK, James spent some time pursuing a career as a child actor. He played Thomas Watson on the BBC series Grange Hill. Now, I couldn't figure out which of these kids is James, but I gotta assume he's one of the kids in this clip, because there's a whole bunch.
Your period of physical education officially started some 5 minutes ago. It does not include lounging about in corridors.
As a teenager, he learned about retail while working at Parachute in Soho. Prior to the launch of his own brand, he opened Union NYC in 1989. He also helped Sean Stussy to launch the Stussy store in New York City. The launch of Supreme would cost James around $12,000. So he actually kept working for Stussy for several years until the brand began to really take off. For a long time, James was very much inspired by the work of artist Barbara Kruger. For years, she never made any public comment about how Supreme co-opted her aesthetic. But more recently, after the company would go on to sue another artist, Leah McSweeney, for selling Supreme bitch t-shirts, Barbara finally broke her silence. She was contacted by Complex for her opinion about the lawsuit, and she responded saying this: "What a ridiculous clusterfuck of totally uncool jokers. I make my work about this kind of sadly foolish farce. I'm waiting for all them to sue me for copyright infringement." Her comments aside, Supreme spent years developing a cool youth culture image. The first artist they ever worked with was Rubel, who helped create work for the NYC shop rack back in the 90s. Supreme also promoted the brand with guerrilla marketing, putting stickers of their logo on ads around the city, including Calvin Klein's 1994 Kate Moss ad. CK actually filed a lawsuit against Supreme for doing this, and the next year, Supreme filmed a promotional video about NYC skateboarding. with further connection with the skater community, the Supreme store was actually designed with an open center to allow young people to comfortably skate into the store with backpacks on. After years of development of their brand through their Lafayette Street store, Supreme began to expand in 2004 when they opened their second location ever on North Fairfax Avenue in LA. That location was double the size of their original store and true to their skater roots, features an indoor skateboard. Soon the brand would expand internationally with a London store opening in 2011 and a location in Paris launching in 2016. 3 stores were opened in Tokyo with 3 others spread across Japan in Nagoya, Osaka, and Fukuoka. They also created pop-up stores featuring their recent collaborations with Louis Vuitton in Sydney, Seoul, Tokyo, Paris, London, Miami, and again in LA. As for the rest of the story, well, you're seeing it on the pages of your favorite creators or influencers because everyone's rocking this stuff. It's just the talk of the town. If you guys want to know more, well, we'll follow up in an updated video. But for that to happen, I'm going to have to get some merch. So Supreme, send it my way. You guys know this is Before They Are Famous. Be sure to check out our other videos, hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Supreme! They're not going to send me shit.